The living room was quiet, the kind of silence that feels heavy. On the mantel above the fireplace rested a folded American flag, the same one the military had handed Emily 3 years ago. She stood in front of it, staring at it the way she had countless nights before. That flag was all she had left of her brother, Daniel. The telegram had been short, cold, almost cruel in its lack of comfort, missing in action. Presumed dead. Emily remembered collapsing on the floor, her little daughter Lily clinging to her, not fully understanding why Mommy was crying so hard. Every day since, she kept her brother's memory alive. She told Lily bedtime stories about Uncle Daniel, the soldier who used to spin her in the air, the man who loved motorcycles, and the boy who promised he'd come home no matter what. But promises, it seemed, had been broken. Or so she thought that it was a stormy evening when it happened. The wind howled through the trees, rain tapped against the windows, and thunder rolled across the sky. Emily was putting Lily to bed when she heard it, the deep, unmistakable growl of a motorcycle engine, cutting through the storm. Her breath caught. No one in this small town owned a Harley. She moved to the window, heart racing. The headlight appeared first, then the dark outline of a rider, leather jacket soaked in rain, pulling into her driveway. Emily froze. Every instinct told her to protect her daughter. She hurried Lily into bed, whispering, "Stay here, baby," before grabbing the baseball bat she kept by the door. When she opened the door, the storm wind whipped her hair. The man was already dismounting his bike. His leather jacket bore a large patch on the back, 2 words that sent a chill through her, "Hell's Angels." She gripped the bat tighter. Who was he? Why was he here? The rider removed his helmet. His face was rugged, scarred. Eyes tired but not cruel. He looked at her with something almost respectful. "Ma'am," he said, his voice low, steady. "Name's Ryder. I rode with your brother overseas." Her throat closed. Nobody had spoken Daniel's name to her in years. You knew him?" she whispered, the bat trembling in her hands. Ryder nodded slowly. From inside his jacket, he pulled out something folded and worn. It was a leather vest, weather-beaten, stained with time. Across the chest was Daniel's name. On the back, stitched in bold, was a biker's patch. Emily's heart stopped. And then Ryder pulled out something else, a letter, edges frayed, sealed but marked with fingerprints and dirt. "He made me swear," Ryder said, his voice breaking. "If he didn't make it, I was to bring you these. Took me a long time to find you, but a promise is a promise." Emily's hands shook as she reached out. She pressed the vest to her chest, sobbing. The smell of leather, of dust, of her brother's life, it was almost like he was there again. With trembling fingers, she opened the letter. The handwriting was Daniel's. "Dear Em. If you're reading this, I didn't come home. Don't cry for me. I lived my life the way I wanted, fighting for something bigger than myself. Promise me you'll raise Lily strong. Promise me you'll live. And if Ryder's the one giving you this, know that he's a brother to me. Trust him. He's family now." Emily fell to her knees, clutching the paper to her chest. The storm raged outside, but nothing could match the storm inside her heart. The days that followed were strange. Ryder didn't disappear after handing her the vest and letter. He stayed around town, sometimes checking on her, sometimes working odd jobs. At first, Emily didn't trust him. He was a Hell's Angel. She knew the reputation, violence, crime, danger. But every time she looked at him, she saw something else: loyalty, pain. A man carrying a weight too heavy for one soul. One afternoon, Lily came running into the kitchen, giggling. "Mommy, Ryder taught me how to ride my bike without the training wheels." Emily's heart softened a little. Later that night, she asked him, "Why are you doing this? Why help us?" Ryder looked down at his hands, scarred and calloused. "Because your brother saved my life. I'm standing here because of him. I couldn't save him, but I can keep my word. He wanted me to look after you. So I will." It didn't take long for the town to notice the biker hanging around Emily's farmhouse. People whispered. Some warned her. "Emily, you can't let that man near your daughter. He's trouble. Those bikers, they're no good." But Emily ignored them. She knew what they didn't, that Ryder wasn't trouble. He was broken, yes, but in the same way she was. Both had lost Daniel, and both carried him in their hearts. One Sunday, she invited Ryder to church. The entire congregation went silent when he walked in, leather vest patched with Hell's Angels colors. But then the pastor smiled and said, "The doors of God's house are open to everyone. Anyone who carries love and loyalty in their heart is welcome here." And slowly, people began to see Ryder not as a biker, but as a man. The anniversary of Daniel's death came. Emily drove to the cemetery, Ryder beside her. She carried the vest and laid it gently on her brother's grave. Her voice cracked as she whispered, "You came home, Daniel. Not the way I wanted, but you came home." She wept, and Ryder placed a hand on her shoulder. "He'd be proud of you. Proud of Lily. Proud of how strong you've been." For the first time in years, Emily felt a strange peace. Not the absence of grief, but the transformation of it, into love, into strength, into something that could carry her forward. Months passed. Ryder became part of their lives. He fixed things around the farm, helped Lily with school projects, even taught Emily how to ride her brother's old motorcycle that had sat in the shed untouched since the war. Neighbors who once judged him began to wave. Some even offered him work. And one evening, as Emily stood on the porch watching Lily laugh on the back of Ryder's bike, her heart swelled. She thought she had lost her brother forever. But instead, he had sent her someone who carried his memory, his loyalty, and his love. Daniel hadn't abandoned her. He had simply left her in the care of another brother. Life doesn't always give us the endings we pray for. Sometimes it gives us scars, sometimes silence, and sometimes, it gives us people we never expected. Millie thought she had lost her brother in the war, but through the roar of a Harley-Davidson and the loyalty of a biker who kept a promise, Daniel's love returned to her in a different form. Because family is more than blood. It's the people who stand beside us, who keep their promises, and who remind us that love never dies, it just finds new ways to live on.